sense like once I get started. But yeah, just like my life. I don't know. Let me just get started. So I've actually picked up a new hobby recently. I've been crocheting. And I figured I'd tap on some of my stuff and also show you what I've made. So first I'll start by tapping on some yarn. I really like this little like band that holds it together. It sounds nice. But first I'll explain how I got into this. So Christmas, when I was figuring out a gift for my mom a couple like months or weeks before, she sent me something like on Instagram that was recommended, and it was an ad for a brand called Woobles. Woobles, that's WOOBLES. And basically, they give you kits. Little, like, kits that have literally everything you could possibly need. And these tutorials that are supposed to be so good. And I was like, I don't know if I have time. I don't know if I want to be doing that. So I kind of just dismissed it. And then when it got to Christmas and I was like, what am I gonna get her? I also was getting ads for the same company, and I was like, oh, maybe that would be like silly if I made her one. So I bought this. They have them at Joann's. So I went out and I bought it instead of ordering it. I was like, okay, I want to like see this. And they had them like behind the register. I don't know, I guess they're like a like popular thing. But they had it, and so I tried it out and I absolutely loved it. The tutorials were incredible. Literally give you everything and more. I've never really crocheted, and I could do it, and it looked like pretty good. And so some parts did make me want to like quit and stuff, but it definitely was an overall great experience. So after I gave it to her and she liked it, I was like, I kind of want to do this again. Like, I couldn't get it out of my head. So then I bought my second kit and I made that, and I had even more fun, and it was even easier. And then there were some parts that were hard because they were new, but like I still got through it, and I had like a rhythm down, and everything was so great. And that second one was actually a little lion, because if you don't know my cat that's always on this channel, she's a little orange cat, and her name is Dandelion. And I call her a lion sometimes, not only because her name is Dandelion, but because she's like a little orange lion. So I thought that was perfect because they didn't really have a cat one. They did, but it wasn't that cute. So I made the little lion just for her, well, for me, of her. And then Valentine's started to come around, like a little before Valentine's, so I think at the start of February. And they came out with these little cute Valentine's kits. So it was normal Woobles, but with like really pretty Valentine's colors, so like pink and pastel, and I was like, yes. So then I bought my third and loved that. And the second I finished it, I needed something else. So I actually used leftover yarn from my first kit and made the exact because I was literally able to make a second one using all of the yarn left over from that, a little bit left over from the lion because they were the same color and I ran out from the first one. And then you get one extra eye with each one. So after doing 3 kits, I did have 2 extra eyes. So it all worked out perfectly. And now I have the one I gave to my mom and then one for myself. Because why not? And it's actually silly because I was so proud of my first one. And now looking at the one I made, that's the exact same one. I made it so much better now. But yeah, so after that, I was like, okay, I need to do more, but I think I can move on from the Woobles because it's $30 a thing, and I feel like I could follow a pattern, a basic pattern pretty well. So I went out and I bought this yarn only a couple days ago, and I got this at Michael's, and this is 100% acrylic, and I think the Woobles yarn, it's like a special one. They sell it on Amazon, but you know, it's like $12 because it's like super special and super good. It's like 75% cotton and 25% nylon. And this yarn is acrylic and it's like fuzzy and stuff like that, and the Woobles one is like not fuzzy at all, so it's definitely way better for beginners because you could see everything way clearer. But I did get used to this pretty fast. It's definitely way easier to snag your little hook on, but it doesn't really make that big of a difference once you get used to it and are able to see what you need to see. But so I'm working on my first solo project right now, and it's going well, so let me show you everything. Well, first, this is the yarn, so it's a pretty pink because I love pink. It's loops and thread, LOOPS and DHREADS, loops and threads, impeccable acrylic. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so yeah, here's the yarn. Okay. So first, let's start off like in order. So I don't have the one I made for my mom because it's for my mom, but the second one is the lion. So this is the little lion. Oh my god, it's so cute. And as a beginner does, I actually did make a mistake. Like, can you guess the mistake? Before I say it, do you see anything wrong with this? Because the reason I didn't fix the mistake is because I actually thought it wasn't that bad of a mistake and it looked fine without it. Well, that just spoiled it. So this little mane is supposed to go around the top of the head, and somewhere along the line I did something wrong and it ended just at the ears. But honestly, I don't think it looks bad. It looks like a beard. Like, I literally needed that much more, and I did have leftover orange yarn, so technically I could have like made it and added it, but you know, it's a little cute mistake and it looks fine. But these are so fun to make. So it starts off with this top done for you. It starts off with this little tiny circle, so you don't have to do that because that's a little bit hard. And then you do the body, and then you stick on these little eyes, and then you make the nose and you attach it, the nose, and then you embroider the little black part of the nose, and then you embroider this little orange in the ears, which actually added a lot to the look if you saw it without the embroidered orange. as if I started it, like, not there. Like, she did tell me to start it there in the tutorial. Maybe that's why, just in case. But if I didn't, it wouldn't have looked like perfect, because like it would have like had a gap like somewhere else. But yes, that looks super cute. And then next, the Valentine's one. So this, I never even said what I made, but this is a turtle. The regular turtle is brown and green, and I'm not a big turtle person, like, in particular, so I don't necessarily want a brown and green stuffed animal. But when I saw this beautiful, beautiful pastel shell, I knew that I needed it. And all of the Valentine's items had kind of this same pastel limited edition type of thing, and I just thought the turtle was the cutest out of them. I think they had like a llama, maybe a penguin, but this one's like super adorable, and the little eyes, and it has like a little tail, and then the legs. So this one, you start with the head, and then you make the shell, and you actually transition the yarn down back to the original pink color, and then you put the legs directly onto the shell instead of making them separate and then attaching them. And then you stick the head on, and that's it. Very simple. Oh, and they give you stuffing, so you stuff them. And one of the main things that looks so bad about the first one that I made is I thought I stuffed it good enough, but looking back I realized I did not stuff it enough, because I didn't know, like, you could really stretch the yarn. Like, you're not supposed to like stretch it, but definitely fill it well. So, but they're nice and like squishy and adorable. So, like, look how cute that is. Okay. And then here is the one I made with leftover yarn, which is very impressive. And the one I made for my mom was like only filled like that much. It was like triangle and not like egg. But this one was definitely the best one to start with. All three of these were classified as beginner, but I don't think I would have been able to do the main of the line as good as I did if I didn't already have done just like one before, because I feel like that's a little more complicated. Definitely a beginner could still do, but like this has the least going on. So this is like pure beginner, I would say. But first you do the shell. Once again, has the pre-started piece, so it makes it super easy. And then you stick the eyes, and then you make the nose, and then you stick the nose on, and then you make the wings, and then you stick those on, and that is it. The most simple one. This one really took me so short of time. Not the first time around. I did that over a couple days, but this I did like in 2 sittings, and they were only like 1 hour each, so very short. And because I'm like a pro now, I was able to start it myself, because you know, they give you the pre-started piece, but I made it out of leftovers, so I didn't have a pre-started piece, and I was able to do it. So that worked out really well. And then second to last, which I didn't mention, I actually made a bookmark in between when I finished the last one and was able to go out and get yarn. So I used some leftover pink yarn and made a little bookmark, and I was going to show you the book in a little bit anyway, but let me just take this out. I used this with leftover pink from the turtle, and I saw a little tutorial for this on TikTok, and I already had the skills for these leg stitches, so it's just this and then a little bow on top, which is super cute. The only annoying thing is this with this stitch. I don't know if it's like this for everyone, or maybe I did the stitch too tight that it like curls. But like when it's in the book, like it just sits there, and then this peeks out on top. So let me put it in the book and show you. Let me just. So this is what it looks like. Super adorable. Definitely didn't turn out as good as the girl on TikToks, but like it's good. And then what I'm currently working on right this second, and I'm going to do right when this video ends, I'm making a cat, because I just said like I wanted a cat and they didn't have one I liked. So this is a pink cat, as you saw by the pink yarn before, and so far I've only done its head. So this is the cat, and as you can see, like the size comparison, the head is bigger than this whole entire thing. So, but this is so far, and it's super adorable. It's all stuffed, and actually, in the original pattern, it was like this. Like these are the eyes, and I felt like it looked too much like whiskers. Like they looked more like eyes in like the picture, and I don't know, like I did them the same. They just look like whiskers. So I was like, it looks like whiskers and it looks like it just has no eyes, so I just added eyes myself. I literally did this 5 minutes ago, because I did this all and I was sitting on the idea, like, should I add eyes? And I was like, it literally just looks like a cat with no eyes. So I just added these myself, and I really like how they turned out, because I was a little nervous to be like freestyling on this cat, but I am very happy with it. And I love these ears, how they literally look like indented. Like that looks so good. But yeah, I'm super excited about this, and it's going to have like a long body, and it's going to have really long arms. It's going to be like a very cool, cozy, floppy little big cat. So, and it's going to be pink, so like adorable. So, let me show you my like stuff. Like, I got this at Target and it's so adorable. It's where I'm keeping my hook and extra little like pieces, like my threading needle and my stitch markers and leftover Wooble yarn, because they're like really tiny amounts. And this is literally so adorable, and I saw it and I was looking for like anything, like a makeup bag, something to just keep stuff in, and I saw this. It's like a pencil case, and like it looks really cute, and I knew I had to have it. And it had like spaces for pencils, which I just put my crochet hooks in. It's perfect. It was like $12, but like worth it. Like it has these little flowers all over it. Something about me, if I like something, I don't care how much it is. Like, this should not be $10, like $12, maybe like 6 or 7 is more reasonable, but still maybe a lot for a little pouch, like realistically. But I guess, like, I don't know, whatever brand it was and the material and the pattern somehow makes it that much money. But technically I could use a plastic bag if I wanted to, but I'm like luxury. So first, I'm not a big fan of zipper sounds, so I'm not going to do anything crazy with this. So here's this. So when you're crocheting, sometimes you write with a pen or like pencil, you write to keep track of where you are in the pattern. So I stuck a little pen in here to have, and then I have my 2 little hooks. this purple one is also a 4mm hook, and it came special edition with the Valentine's one. I don't know why it's shorter. I didn't like it as much because it was shorter, so I stuck to using the blue one, but I don't mind having an extra one, and the purple is pretty. So, and then in here, I have my stitch markers and needles. So, if you don't know, here is a little stitch marker. It's just like a pin type of situation. And there's different rounds in crocheting, so what you do is you stick this under your first little stitch that you make in the round. And it's so you know how many, like when the round starts, because you could go forever and ever and ever and not know the difference between each round. So this is super useful, super duper useful, not just for beginners, just for the crocheting world. And I have like so many of these because 3 come with each kit, so I think I have 9 then. And then 1 little needle comes with each kit, so I have 3 of these. And this is for like threading the stuff through or whatever. Like when you close it or when you embroider, this is what you use. Okay. And in the other side is just a bunch of leftover little yarn. So I'll pull out just one. And this was just like for 1 yarn, but now these got so tiny that I just threw 2 in this little band. Let me just and WOOBLES. Okay, so I'm just going to throw that back in here. Okay, so that is not it for the crocheting stuff. I have one more thing, which this is literally so silly. I used all my leftover stuffing from the Woobles already in the cat head because it was so big that I needed more stuffing. And this is the smallest bag of stuffing that Walmart had for like this brand and this exact one I wanted. It's 16 ounces of stuffing. So I read that this polyester fiber fill, or like polyfill, I think it could also be called, is like the best, like just brand, I mean like type, like the classic stuffing type or whatever. I don't like just know this stuff. My mom was like, oh yeah, that's like classic stuffing, and it's like, I don't know, I had to do research just to find that out. But this big thing, my little clip to close it off, because when like at my house we used to have stuffing, like because like someone in my family used to do stuff, and after a couple years there would be like little like beetle shells just like in the stuffing, which is like disgusting to say, but like it was like being stored in the attic. So like my mom was like, make sure to close it, and I was like, yeah. Like realistically that was probably in there for 10 years. Like I'm not saying like it's probably not gonna happen, but just like I know now, like we all know now, things like that happen when stuff is being stored for long term. so silly carrying this like out of the store. Like, who needs this much stuffing? I mean, considering that's the dent I made to finish filling like half the head, because half the head was filled with my leftover Wooble stuffing, and half the head was filled with this, and that's how much it took. So like, maybe it is realistic to get this much. And considering this was the smallest bag, like, yeah, it makes sense now. Okay, moving on to not crochet related stuff. I'll just move right on to this book because I showed you with the little bow. So it is The Haunting of Hill House, and if you have heard of this for whatever reason, like, oh, why do I know that name? It was a super popular Netflix original, like 7, 8, I don't know how many years ago, but I was in middle school, I think, when that came out, and I was like, this is so good, and I bought this book the second I finished watching that show 7 years ago, and I am just reading it now. When I tell you, if you're a reader, I think you would understand it. I'm not even like a big reader. Like, I like reading, but like, I stop for like years at a time. But like, anyone that reads could relate to this. You buy so many things and never get to so many things. Like, I've read since I bought this, I just haven't read this. So it's so silly, but I'm finally getting around to it because I was like, I want to start reading again, and when I looked through my books, this was one of the only ones that isn't a series. And you know, if you read a series, then you have to like finish the series. You can't just read the first book of like a million series, like common sense. So this was one of the only books that isn't a series, and the shortest of the not series books to like help me get back into it. So already in like the first chapter, it's so different from the show, so I was like so thrown off. So a fun fact, like not a spoiler, in the show a bunch of people were siblings. In the book, which came first obviously, in the book, the people with the same names are not siblings and are strangers. I don't know why Netflix and shows and stuff like that in general likes to do like such silly things, but I did not like that. So instead of just like letting myself figure it out, I did intensive research before I can finish the first chapter. Like, do these people not know each other? Like, I need to establish that before I can move any further, because I was like, what is going on? Because you would think the same names, like, just change them. Like, I could go on forever, but books and movies differ in so many ways anyway that you could just like rant and rant about. But this is confusing. I can't imagine having read this first and being like, I can't wait to see like the characters and then like their sibling, like what? And like, I think they might have some kind of like, when I was doing that research, I read somewhere that they might have like gotten, you know, in relationships or like something like that. And it's like, imagine you're watching the show and it's like these people literally were in a relationship and now they're siblings. I'll just let you sit with that, because like, what? Anyway, for those of you who have not heard of this, I'll read the back for you. So, is this? Yeah, this is it. Because sometimes it's on the back or sometimes it's like in the front. Okay, first published in 1959. Wow. Shirley Jackson's The Haunting of Hill House has been hailed as a perfect work of unnerving terror. It is the story of 4 seekers who arrive at a notoriously unfriendly pile called Hill House. Dr. Montague, an occult scholar house is gathering its powers and soon will choose one of them to make its own. Something I did see when looking up it, the same person does die in both of them. They kept that the same. Anyway, so that far into it, that much, not this much, that much. I've literally only read 2 chapters. Like, I just read 1 chapter before bed. As you can see, I've only spent 2 nights so far. This is all very recent occurrences I'm talking about. But it's getting me back into reading, and that's what I need. Even though I don't necessarily have all this free time to be doing all this stuff in between school and stuff. But right now, I guess I'm just deciding to start back all these new hobbies. Really working on myself, so. And on the book, topic, I went to Target the other day. Even though I was just saying about buying books and never reading them, and now I have a long list of books that I have bought and never read, I bought 2 more books. The first one of my roommates actually recommended and said that her friend read it and said it was good. So I kind of had to buy it. So, and they were having a sale, 20% off. Target always has a sale on books, so this isn't anything special, but it justified it. And they also had buy one get one half off, so I had to get 2. So the first one is The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. Anyway, I'll read the back. Alicia Burnson's life is seemingly perfect until one night when her husband, Gabriel, returns home late from work and Alicia shoots him 5 times in the face and then never speaks another word. Alicia's refusal to talk or give any kind of explanation turns a domestic tragedy into a mystery that captures the public imagination. And she, the silent patient, is hidden away from the tabloids at the Grove, a secure psychiatric unit in North London. Criminal psychotherapist Theo Faber is captivated by Alicia's story and jumps at the opportunity to work with her. His determination to get her to talk and unravel the mystery of why she shot her husband will take him down a path more unexpected and more terrifying than he ever imagined. Sounds very interesting. I love reading thriller kind of books, and I literally told myself I'm gonna try romance because that's fun. I like rom-coms and fun stuff, and I bought more thrillers. Classic me. Anyway, the second book, not a romance, is The Locked Door by Frida McFadden. I literally right this second just thought of this. I feel like I've seen people talking about that name on TikTok, either that they love her books or they didn't like her writing style, and I can't remember. We'll find out. While 11-year-old Nora Davis was up in her bedroom doing homework, she had no idea her father was killing women in the basement. Until the day the police arrived at their front door. Decades later, Nora's father is spending his life behind bars, and Nora is a successful surgeon with a quiet, solitary existence. Nobody knows about her past, and she'll do anything to keep it that way. Then, one of her young female patients is murdered, killed in the same unique and horrific manner that her father used to kill his victims. Somebody knows who Nora is. Somebody wants her to take the fall for this unthinkable crime, but she's not like her father. The police can't pin anything on her. A cat hair just bounced from the mic into my mouth. basement. From New York Times bestselling author Frida McFadden comes a riveting psychological thriller about the guilt, secrets, and whether it's possible to outrun what's in our blood. Very interesting. And this purchase that I'm about to show next, I have been anticipating for like months. Like, I'm not just saying that, like months. So, The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes came out, I don't know, in like October. And if you've been following my channel, I love to show DVDs and stuff like that. I know the world is like digital now, but I love buying DVDs for movies that I love. I just like a physical copy. Same reason why I like a physical copy for books. Well, not the same reason. I like reading books better, but also I like to have them as a memory to be like, I read this and I liked this. So The Hunger Games has been out digital for months now, but the DVD just was released February 13th. I looked at my calendar. It's marked on my calendar right there. And I went out to Target and I bought it. And it wasn't even on shelves yet because it was just released on DVD. And the guy was like, I'll go get it for you. And he brought it back and I was so happy. So, The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I love The Hunger Games books. I love the movies. I have all the books and I have all the movies. I know they're not like the same, but I think they're great in their own ways. Because I was just talking about like how I hate differences, and yeah, it can be frustrating, but with The Hunger Games specifically, even though they don't include some valuable things, I still think the movies are done amazingly well and have their own kind of story to them. So I loved this movie so much. I just like something new, because I've rewatched The Hunger Games however many times, and this is something new now. And there's music, and like I love music. So in this prequel to The Hunger Games, a young Coriolanus is the last hope for the once proud Snow family that has fallen from grace in a post-war capital. Snow reluctantly takes an assignment to mentor Lucy Gray Baird, a tribute from the impoverished District 12. But after Lucy Gray's charm captivates Panem's audience, Snow unites with Lucy Gray to turn the odds in their favor. Battling his instincts for both good and evil, Snow races against time to survive and reveals if he will ultimately become a songbird or a snake. One of the big things about this movie there were lots of big things that people probably didn't like, but something was that in the book you get his inner dialogue kind of situation. You could see kind of how crazy he is, and in the movie, you're kind of captivated by his charm just like everyone else, and there are these little things that are like, okay, like interesting, but for the most part of the movie you really don't see the crazy side of him. And that's something really interesting about a lot of movies that show psychopaths, is that you either get it from their point of view and you see how crazy they are, or you get it from the public's point of view, which is because psychopaths are typically super duper charming, and that's why they get away with everything. And so I think it's really interesting that the book is, you literally see how crazy he is, and from the movie you are kind of charmed just like everyone else. And I think that's really interesting, because if you've seen any kind of social media like publicity about this movie, it's about how good looking this villain is, and like that's the point. He's good looking, he's charming. That's how it is with all these like people. I feel like everyone's like, oh, he was so good looking, I would have done the same thing, like I would have been like all these girls, like yeah, that's like the point, like that's how they got away with it, That's the most important thing. I've never been this happy in my life, honestly. Like, I've never had this many hobbies, and I also have been going to the gym 5 days a week. So, like, I'm really becoming my best self out there. So, like, you guys do the same. Focus on yourself no matter what. Anyway, little motivation. Today, February 14th, a new Summer Fridays limited edition birthday cake lip butter just was released on Sephora's website. Summer Fridays releasing it tomorrow on their website, but Sephora, you get early access. So this morning I ordered it. Says it's coming by the 16th already, so like so fast. But I absolutely love birthday cake stuff, and this is the pink sugar, which I honestly already think smells like birthday cake. That's one of the reasons why I bought it in the first place. And I did see people saying it smells like pretty similar, but like, I don't care. It also has like a shimmer to it that this and all the other ones do not. Either way, I'm excited. So yeah, I'm like the absolute biggest birthday cake flavor, artificial taste fan. Like, I love like just the birthday cake flavor, cake batter, all that stuff. So this is pink sugar, and like, oh my god, it's the best you will ever smell in the world. So it would be great if the other one smells like this. But either way, like, I love this Summer Fridays just in general. It's really good. I have not all of them. Like, this is the only full-size one I have, but then I also got the little like minis of vanilla beige, and poppy. I have them all right here at my desk. I'll have to do something showing all my lip products. I have, like, just looking out right now at my desk, I have this. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 that I can just like see with my eyes. I have more, like, probably somewhere else. Like, anyway, I'm a big lip product fan. Oh, okay, on the birthday cake topic, sitting right in front of me, I showed this in my Christmas haul, but like, I'll show it again. This is the Bath & Body Works lip gloss. I did not know Bath & Body Works made lip gloss, and this is a birthday cake flavor. It's delicious and amazingly moisturizing and like glossy, whatever. It's not like shiny, but it like makes your lips look so like, you know what I'm saying. It's amazing. Like, a little goes a long way with this. Thank God, because like, look how tiny this is. But it tastes so good, and I'm so happy with that purchase, because it was $10 for this, $24 for this. So like, this stuff is getting expensive. But like, birthday cake is amazing. I think that's it for today. So that's like what's going on with my life. Is there anything else that's like happening? I don't know. I'm wearing this little Gymshark set. Actually, I'm in the leggings too. I really like them. So I only have this set and a gym bag right now from Gymshark, because like, they're expensive, but their stuff is really cute and comfortable if you're looking for anything to work out in. Obviously super duper expensive. Like, a lot of people wear Lululemon, and I've never even owned anything Lululemon, and that is definitely more expensive. So I can't necessarily say if it's like as good or something. But I like this for what it is. Everything of theirs is super duper stretchy, which is absolutely incredible. And just like adorable overall. But yeah, so I really like it. And they have such cute sets and everything. So yeah, I could literally talk about anything right now. I could just talk. But I think that's it. I don't even know how long this video is, because as you can see, when I'm talking about myself, I could just do this forever. Which is like, I don't know, like a red flag. All about me. Anyway, so I guess that's it. I hope that you enjoyed. I hope that this was like entertaining or like fun for you. I hope you learned some stuff about me. Yeah, so I hope that you enjoyed overall, and I hope that you have a great night or day. And I hope that you had a good Valentine's Day and at least did something for yourself, because Valentine's Day should be about self-love. Let's be real. Like, I'm like preaching today. Like, anyway, I thought of something else to say. Noah Khan, if you like Noah Khan, I doubt you've even made it this far, so like, who am I kidding? But I was looking at my calendar, and last Friday, Noah Khan came out with his like extended album thing with like a couple extra songs, and forever is so good. So that's what I've been listening to, because you know, I told you what I've been doing. That's what I've been listening to. I've also been getting super duper into Boy Genius, and like, I've heard of them and I've listened to some of their songs and I thought they were okay, but like now I'm listening to more of their songs. Like, you listen once, you think they're okay, then you re-listen and you're like, where was I? Like, what like trance was I in? So now like I'm really like loving them and obsessed and listening to them all the